Hey, it's Bev, your deep dive coach. And this month, we're diving deeper by asking questions. We all know that our thoughts create our current life experience. They influence how we feel and therefore how we behave, and therefore the results that we create for ourselves. This is amazing because then we get to examine those thoughts in order to see how we like them. Beautiful, simple, except I want to introduce to you an idea that I've been teaching to my advanced deep dive coach certification coaches, which is this idea of implicit models. We all form thoughts according to what happens to us. Some of these thoughts or ideas are implicit in that we don't even know that we have them. Sometimes they were formed such a long time ago, and we've repeated them and lived by them for so long that now we just think they're real. We think they're just as much how the world works as the fact that most of the time Tuesday follows Monday. Because of that, we're not aware that they're thoughts, and therefore we aren't able to bring them up for examination and exploration. Sometimes it's a little more sinister than that, in that we kind of blocked some thoughts or experiences because they were so unpleasant. And so all the thinking and ideas and models that we formed around those are also implicit and therefore not available to us for examination. The problem is they're still informing our behavior. They're still creating our life experience. We just can't access them. So often we don't even really understand why we did something, right? We examine it. We're like, oh, that was what happened. And this is what I was thinking. But it doesn't often make sense. Sometimes it doesn't make sense to us. I'll give you an example. A client of mine really wanted to explore why she was always saying yes to people, even at her own expense. Whenever anyone else would do something, even if she had something else planned or something she'd rather do, or she didn't just ever want to do it, she just always said yes, yes, yes. And it often was at her own expense. So we examined all the thoughts, and nothing just kind of really was able to shift it or felt quite right. And then we did some deep questioning. And a memory came up for her that when she was in university, her boyfriend at the time had become very ill, and she took off a year to care for him. And her father said to her, "You are a worthy human being because you took care of Kyle." She didn't even ever remember him saying that. But at that time, she formed an implicit model based on what he said, which was, my worth is determined by how much I serve. Suddenly, everything made sense. So here is how one of the ways that we can bring to the surface these implicit memories. When you work with a coach, there are a number of ways to do it, but here's one way I want to offer you that I think could be really effective if you kind of commit to it for the month. The way we do it is we ask ourselves questions. So let's say you have something that you're kind of a little puzzled about in your life, a result you've created, something you do, something you're always feeling, and you do your journaling and you do your inner reflecting, and you're kind of just not finding the answer. Ask yourself questions like, what if it isn't about that? What might it be about if it's not that? What might be underneath this idea? What could this be related to that I have no idea what it is at this point? So you can see how these questions assume that you have already done your work. You've already tried to figure it out. You've kind of got your first level explicit understanding. Now you ask the questions to get you to the implicit understanding. Not by telling yourself you're wrong, but just kind of open yourself into some kind of curiosity or a bit of doubt. And just keep asking, whatever comes up, keep asking, keep asking. What if it's not even that? Okay, what if there's something else? What if there's more? What am I not seeing? What's around the corner from this? What's underneath this? What's next to this? And keep asking until you find a thought, an idea, a memory that suddenly you go, I didn't even remember that. I wasn't even aware that I thought that anymore. Yes, that feels right. Your whole body will go, that makes sense. Could be something long ago, something forgotten, some teaching, some memory, and you go, now I understand. I always made sense. I just hadn't found it yet. I was responding to a thought I didn't even really realize I had. Now I know. Now I get to decide. Now I get to shine a light on this thought or this memory that I've made explicit and decide, do I still want to believe that? Do I still want that to direct my life? So good.